have mentioned this before, but yeah, please feel free to keep the chat running with questions. While I am presenting, I might not be able to see everything, but what we can do is we can always answer questions later, or you can put your hand up and then I can answer. All right, so yeah, welcome everybody. The introduction for tonight, Sakile is here. I don't know if he just wants to put a camera on and wave if his camera ready. And then myself, Michelle Coates. We are your library people, your online library team, also known as information specialists. So what can we help you with? These are the main things that we focus on. It's mostly support services, referencing. Now, depending on your qualification, you'll be doing one of these three styles. It seems to be that most of you will be doing our Harvard Anglia referencing style. And then contraventions, that's more if maybe you haven't referenced properly or you haven't turned the work into your own words properly, the Turnitin score is going to show that the percentage is higher than it's supposed to be. And in that case, you might want to come to us for a session where we assist you with academic writing. And then research support for a lot of the requirements for postgrad is to do a research project. We can help you with providing links to resources or even finding articles that are particularly difficult to source that might be hiding behind a paywall. And then for assessment support, that is anything relating to your modules. You might want us to check your assignment before you submit officially for the final draft. Maybe you want us to just check that you haven't forgotten to in-text reference or that your reference links are working. And yeah, then last of all, we do have a writing center online where you can send through your work a couple of days beforehand, and then we take a look. We have a team of consultants who will go through and help to improve your academic writing. And then YouTube links. This is the fun one. So this is something new for this year. We have an undergrad playlist and we have a postgrad playlist. I'm going to click here and see if it takes me through to the correct page. Yes, it does. Okay, all right. So a lot of these are small, short videos on certain topics, and you might find there's one on how to do an AI annexure, which is quite helpful. You might also want to view the one about credible sources, which tells you what are good resources to use in your studies. And yeah, so if you are going to be doing a literature review, we do have a couple of tips on that particular video. And then also just normal academic stuff, you know, how to find your assessments, etc., notional hours, all that. Okay, let's go back. Right, and then I hope that you guys have been exploring the onboarding module. We had quite a fun time creating this little classroom for you guys, and this is especially for postgrads. We've got a lot of different resources that if you go onto the onboarding module on ARC, and I'll go there now to just show you. If you are logged in and on this module, and you go down to the part that says academic support, and you click on the online library team page. Let's go there now. Okay, so academic support, online library team, meet the information specialists, and we've got one for undergrad and one for postgrad. So here we are. If you click that link at the bottom, you can actually make it full screen. And Sakila and I did an embarrassing welcome video. No, it's just for you to get to know us a bit better. And then you can click on random objects around the room and they'll light up and they'll take you to different places. So for example, the cup with the pens at the bottom, that one takes you to the writing center page, and the books on the table take you to the IIE library page. All right, so that's our postgrad virtual commons. I'm just going to close there. and close the YouTube link and go back to the slide. Okay. Right, now with the My Emirates page, if you are navigating from here, you can go directly from here to the IIE library by clicking on the online resource section, such as the one that says electronic databases or journals. It will take you to EBSCOhost and all the rest of those databases that you will need for doing your research. And another lovely thing that they've put in this year is you can book directly with one of the information specialists, depending on who's on duty. And all you do is you click the button that says appointment. Okay, so here we go. This is what I was mentioning about IIE Library, and all of the resources that you need will be under these blocks. Okay, so I'm going to run through them quickly. Please feel free to ask a question if you're not sure how to get there. The direct link to the page is as follows, as you can see on the screen. All right, so our first tab is eShelf or eResources, and it's got the different names of the different databases. I'm going to focus on EBSCOhost because that is our biggest and, well, I suppose, one of the best databases. Taylor and France is our other really, really good database, top class. And if you click on view, you will then be taken to this next part where it gives you three options. Select the middle one. Why do I say that? Because this discovery service actually searches 16 other databases at the same time. So it's like a one-stop shop. A little bit like Google Scholar, but better because the results are guaranteed to give you credible sources. So those are the ones that are peer-reviewed journals. They are the good ones to use in your assignment. And a little bit more about that. When it says scholarly peer-reviewed journals, it means other experts in the field have reviewed it and have said it's good. So it's not just somebody self-publishing and causing nonsense just because they want to make money. These are actually really, really good research articles. So when you do go onto EBSCOhost, you need to select, make sure all of these are selected. Full text, so that you don't get disappointed by just the abstract. Click available in the library collection, and then also select the little badge, the yellow badge that says peer reviewed. You can also narrow down the search to the last 5 years. This is essential if you want current research because a lot can change in a short amount of time. And then the final option, if you're not so good at thinking of the correct keywords to use, then maybe you want to write it out as a full sentence. And just like ChatGPT, yes, it does use an AI search bot. Natural language means you can type out, I would like to find an article on entrepreneurship that covers XYZ. You can make it as long as you want, and it will search the whole sentence. You can then locate relevant titles from a list once you press that magnifying glass. Okay, and then also just double check when you do get the list of entries, just check if it is an ebook or if it's a report, like a book report or a book review, or if it is a proper academic journal article. And yeah, I think the best is just to familiarize yourself with all of these things. It can be a lot in the beginning, but the more that you read through and understand, then it will start making sense. Okay, AI, the elephant in the room. We need to make sure that we are using AI responsibly. Okay, so what do we mean by that? If we click this link, we get taken to an actual document called Guidelines for Responsible AI Use. And what this is, it's a commitment that we are going to be using AI in a positive way. And towards the end of the document, I think it's roughly page 9, it will tell you how to do an annexure. Okay, so the annexure, that is kind of like an acknowledgement that you have used the tool, and you tell the reader exactly where you used AI and in what way. All right, so please make sure that it does contain all of these details, such as the title, where you can just name it Disclosure of AI Usage. So it's a heading basically, and then the sections where it was used. I used it for question 2.2, or I used it in my introduction, and then name the tool and the purpose. Why did you use it? I used it for brainstorming, for example, finding definitions. And then the date, it can be more than one date. And then most important, the link to the actual chat, because we need to know what prompts you used when you were finding that information. And then the referencing guide, I'm just going to show you what it looks like quickly. The referencing guide is updated now for 2026. Oh gosh, I clicked the wrong one. Sorry about that. This is 2025. But it has been updated since then. So please ensure that you double check with our in-house style. It is slightly different from the Harvard Anglia that is on Microsoft Word. So you will have to modify it afterwards. Okay, and then student support. When you go to the heading of student support on that IIE library page, you'll have headings such as the academic policies or past papers. Okay, so the past papers, that's your exam papers. You select the box or the folder that has your module, and then you can see the past papers. There are no memos, unfortunately. That's what you have to create for yourself, but you will see the types of questions that have been asked in previous years. And then in terms of the policies, I would say these are three of the most important ones. It's all policy number 23, intellectual integrity. That's basically don't plagiarize. Okay, they say it in quite a nice way, and they are trying to be supportive and developmental. But the bottom line is it needs to be your own work. We can't give you a mark if it was written by AI, for example, and that's where that guidelines document comes in that I explained on the previous page. All right, so again, back to what we can help you with. When it comes to referencing support, you can book an information specialist assistance session. So what this is, it's kind of like linked to your Outlook, your Microsoft Outlook page, and you can select, you can actually see Michelle Coates from the drop-down menu. When is she free on the 20th of February? Okay, I see she's free 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. I want to book a session for 12. And then I get a message instantly that you want to book a session, and then that's it's set. You now have that 30-minute session for the support for referencing. We can also help you when it comes to looking at the final draft, and this is the actual bookings link that you can use. I wonder, I might be able to post it in the chat afterwards so that you can actually just bookmark this, and then whenever you want a booking, you just click that link. Research support, info chat's just another fancy name for the booking. Okay, and so research, it's not just for master's students. Research is at all levels. It's when you're trying to find out information. So if you are struggling to get a particular article, you can't access it, it says pay $40, call us, log an Emirates Assist query with, give us the details, give us the DOI number, give us the name of the article that you are looking for, and we are going to try and ask all our library colleagues from across institutions. We'll try and find it for you. Okay, so please never pay the $40, rather check with us first. And then this is just what the page looks like with the research support headings. All of these different links, they'll take you to different information sites, depending on whether your research is qualitative or quantitative, or, maybe you are doing a literature review. It gives you a few useful tips for that. And I do want to draw attention to predatory journals. That is when they try and steal information from other places and pass it off as their own. So they perhaps will pretend to be Sage publications. They'll get people to submit journal articles, and then they'll steal the research and publish under their own name. I don't want to name and shame, but there is a list called Beale's List. And on that Beale's List, it actually says, for example, academia, and that are sites to watch out for. They're not good at all. Even ResearchGate can have one or two predatory journals lurking on there. So always check with us if you're not 100% sure. The best way is to use one of the databases on the IIE library page. But when you start doing random Google searches or asking ChatGPT to find articles for you, that is where the predatory journals come in. Okay, but last but not least, with the writing support, we want to develop your academic skills so that you stand out from the crowd. And communication in this day and age is super important. So to get your point across, your academic writing, it's a kind of an argument, or you're proving a point. So it needs to be written in a certain style. And we have guides that will tell you. So there is a Postgrad writing style, writing guide, which goes into great depth. And let me just show you what it looks like quickly. Okay, so Postgrad writing style, academic writing, Postgrad support guide. It's a long document, but thankfully they've got the quick links in the front, and you can see here, there's the skills, synthesis. How do you synthesize information, putting it together? Critical thinking. These are all the skills that you will need to perfect if you want to be successful in the postgrad space. Okay, so that is our writing support center. Let's close that. Almost done. The consultants, so we do hire out a team of writing center consultants, and for example, if you want your work to be checked and you want feedback and tips and techniques on how to improve, then you can book a session and we will refer you to them. All right, and then the policies, these are 3 of the main policies. You can read them in your own time. Number 8 is the information center policy. So that's our promise to you, what we are going to support you with. Then number 15 is how to behave yourself. And then the number 23 is what we chatted about, the being ethical in your work. All right, and how to reach us. Emrys Assist, your request is forwarded to the relevant staff member, and you can either use the Academic Writing Center button, or you can use the one that says request an appointment, depending on what you need. You know, sometimes you don't need an actual booking, but you just want to ask, can I please find the article, for example. And that is it. I'm going to stop sharing now, and then I'm going to check if there are any questions. Please feel free. Oh gosh, there are lots of questions. You can raise a hand as well. Is there someone? Yes, Everjoy, would you like to ask a question?
Oh, yes. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
I'm all right. I have a question when it comes to AI. You said that you
Yes.
have to declare that you used it. My question is, what if you use it for brainstorming?
You will still have to declare that you did use it, and it is totally fine. So you are allowed to, you just need to state it
Mhm.
openly. And the reason for
We can't
that
hear you.
is,
You're muttering to yourself. Don't come talk to me if you're going to talk to yourself.
excuse me, sorry, somebody's
Huh?
mic is on.
Swallow your spit.
Shame, she's talking to her child. Sakile,
Teresa,
are you in the chat? Because then you can just mute them. Okay, all right, I think it's fine now. So sorry, Everjoy. Basically, any kind of AI must always be disclosed. It's just to cover yourself in case there is an AI percentage on Turnitin. Then when we do an investigation, we can discover that you did use it ethically and there was nothing wrong. But if you hide it, you hide the usage, then it can become a problem later on.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason why I was asking is because sometimes I use it to brainstorm, like when asking a friend some questions. And it's not really information that I might use as is, it's just to get myself thinking.
Oh, okay. All right. If it's, I suppose, in, well, I was going to say the olden days, when I was studying, we
Mm,
had Wikipedia. So
yes.
yes, you will never reference Wikipedia, even if you did check what is the definition for something.
Mm,
Um, I suppose it has to relate to your topic. So if you are brainstorming titles for your research, then you should include it because it is relevant to your particular assignment. But if it is just general and you're just wanting to maybe like you say, discuss among friends, find out more, that I think is separate. But anything that is relating to your work or that you may get ideas from to use in your work, that must be acknowledged.
Okay, so if I search if I think of something and say, okay, maybe I want to create a lesson, let me think of this, and then I'm thinking out loud on AI, but then I'm going to research to get an academic paper to support that. I still have to reference AI in the academic paper.
That is perfect. Yes, you understand it 100%. We want to see the thought processes that you used. So we want to see the prompts that got you thinking in the first place. So yes, please, if you could put in that AI annexure, that would be much appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, second in line is Phoenix. Yes, what is your question?
Hi, so I have the referencing guide for Harvard Angler from last year.
Hmm.
Can I just use that or do I have to get a updated one?
To be on the safe side, I would recommend the 2026 edition. It is available on the IIE library page, and then you can download the PDF copy.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, just to cover yourself, there might be minor changes or improvements in the latest guide, so we don't want you to miss out on that. Okay. Ataba, yes, what is your question?
Hi,
Are
can you
there?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I wanted to ask, what if I use AI to make an infographic, but there's no content inside the infographic? So do I also need to disclose that and make an annexure?
Um, I'm just thinking now, it would be a skeleton structure that you're talking about. I would say yes, to be on the safe side, you do need to mention in an annexure that you have used it for a skeleton structure. Otherwise, I would always say give credit where it is due, and you didn't do it 100% by yourself. You did get an idea from somewhere. So I would definitely want you to put in that annexure, please. Are there
Okay,
other?
thank
Okay, sure. I think Everjoy is next. Hand number one.
I'm sorry, when I said thank you, I realized that I had a second question that I didn't
Yes.
ask.
Okay,
Um,
please go ahead.
So this question is related to the lesson template. The lesson template for FED 7111 Didactics Economics, and the lesson plans and the module outline, they are all protected, and it's kind of hard for us to get access to them. Like, how do we use them? Because they're protected, you can't copy, you can't do anything. I'm thinking, how do I use it when I want to do my lesson plans for for other different modules, how or
Yeah.
different lesson plans, how do I go about it?
That's right. I'm so sorry that we had to protect it. The reason why we have to protect it is because of a certain I'm not going to mention the name of the site because I don't want you guys to go there, but certain people uploaded our papers onto the internet and they were shared widely. And to now avoid the sharing of those pages, they had to protect them. And that's why even for staff members like myself, it's very frustrating not to be able to copy and download. The only option you have is to create your own templates that are not protected. So you can perhaps use an idea that is on the protected page, but you won't be able to copy it straight across. I'm so sorry for that.
What about the module outlines?
They are also protected, are they not?
Yes, they are protected. How do I access
Yes.
them?
You will have to have an internet connection and go on to the internet every time that you need it. It won't be able to be downloaded onto your computer.
But why is it only one module that is protected? All the other ones are not.
Are they not protected? I think they were supposed to be. I'm not familiar exactly with which are or aren't. Maybe this is something that you can ask your lecturer or navigator more about. I'm not actually familiar with certain ones being available and others not. Sorry, I can't answer that properly.
Because I was trying to get all my things together. I work well with paper and pen, and
Yes,
I managed to download and print three
and
of
it
them, and the
can't
last one
print.
I can't.
Oh gosh, okay. I do think it is maybe the copyright protection thing. They don't want other people to use it from other institutions, and they're worried that if it is downloadable, that people might share it unknowingly. Yeah, so I'm really sorry. I can't actually assist you with access to that. All I can say is that one will have to be done online.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry. Okay. Is it Nicole?
Michelle, can I please answer Eva Joy's question regarding the module outlines?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
If you, when you trying to print the module outlines, you have a Microsoft account, right? So you just add your MS email address into the account, and you add in your password, and then it opens Microsoft Office into your account, and then you can access the module outlines, and you can print them through Microsoft Office Word if they are protected. Yeah, I managed to do that. Okay.
Wow,
And then
okay.
Michelle, I have a question about the AI thing, right? We
Sure.
have this assignment and they're asking us to create an infographic. And I would like to use Canva or ChatGPT, right? But I went through the Harvard Anglia referencing pack and it doesn't tell me how to reference AI. So is there an information pack that I can download that gives me more information about referencing AI? Because I use AI, but I don't know how to reference it.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much for your question. The slide that I spoke about, oh, sorry, my screen is frozen. So sorry about that. This Oh gosh, sorry, internet troubles. I was going to share my screen with you. It didn't want to share. I'm going to show you if we go to your the My Emirates page. Everything is available there, and there are quick links. So let's just go through to the My Emirates page. Let's see. Gosh, where is it now? My library. Okay. Apologies for the slow connection tonight. If we go through, you can see here it says academic policies. This is on the My Library page. And all of the policies, including the guidelines for AI, are in this list. So the one that I spoke about tonight was number 23. If you click on the PDF, it will take you to this document. And on page 9, it covers how to reference AI. It's 4.2, disclosing AI generated content. create an annexure. Okay, so those are all the different headings that you will need to put after your reference list in a, it's basically a list called an annexure. And if you would like further details, I'm going to try and put my YouTube link in the chat. You can watch the 2-minute video on how to do the AI disclosure, and hopefully that will answer any questions that you might come up with.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Okay, now I just want to stop sharing and then go back to the chat. And okay, we are a little bit over time. Apologies for that. It was quite an informative session. I just want to paste the YouTube link and it'll be showing up in a moment. Okay, so there it is in the chat. I made 7 videos. I had lots of fun doing that. So please do take a look, like them if you like them. I hope you will. But it was great fun doing those for you guys. Are there any other? Oh, I see there is a hand. Okay, yes, please unmute. Is it Everjoy? I don't hear anyone. Perhaps it was a mistake. Nsepase, would you like to have a go?
Good evening. Yes, I do have a question. It's regarding the AI.
Mm.
So, because in my previous degree, AI was still not a common thing to use. So, what if I try my very best, not even try, I completely avoid it? What will happen? Do I have to state in my annexure that I did not use AI? What do I do?
Okay, if you have not used it at all, then you do not need to have an annexure. So that will make your life much easier, I think.
Thank you. I prefer easy.
Yeah, I'm also old school that way. But I must say that one of the times that I was using Microsoft Word, it actually put Copilot in there without my knowledge. And every time that I changed the spelling or it made a suggestion, I would click, the correct spelling of the word. And in a way, that was also AI because Copilot was making changes to my document. And when I put it through, turn it in, it came back at 40% AI. So please do be careful. It might be unintentional, but if you do have a Grammarly plug-in for Word, that is AI and it must be put in an annexure.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Right, I see there's another hand. Please unmute and go ahead. I can't hear anything. Is it Nsepase or is it Everjoy's turn? I see Robin also has a hand. And anyone else here?
I'm sorry, my hand was raised by mistake.
Oh, no worries. That's okay. Okay, yes, Robin, you are quite soft at the moment. I can hardly hear.
Sorry, Michelle, is that better?
It is slightly better. I can hear you.
Sorry. Thank you. I just want to find out, you obviously mentioned that like Microsoft Word then had that situation with Copilot and that your Turnitin percentage came back as 40%. At that point, what foot do you have to stand on? Because I asked earlier if you can submit it through Turnitin a second time, and Sakile answered me in the chat with a no. It's once only final draft. So then when it comes back, heaven forbid it does come back with such a high percentage, what happens then? What do you do? Do you then have to report it to your lecturer, or I know they'll see it when you submit it, but to get ahead of the problem kind of thing.
Okay, so I suppose there's 2 ways we could do. We could. I suppose it's too late once you have already submitted it. It would
Okay.
always have been good to check with one of the information specialists first. Maybe let us have gone through the document just as a safeguard. But if it has already been submitted and it has come back at 40%, don't worry. Your navigator or lecturer will never mark you down based on a percentage, because Turnitin can glitch sometimes. It might take your whole reference list and say it's similar. And don't worry, because people use the same references. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. So the score itself is not so much an indication, but rather the style of the writing, and has it actually been written by a person or has it been written by AI? That is what your lecturer is going to decide for themselves. And has it even answered the question? Because sometimes ChatGPT goes in circles and it
Yeah.
doesn't actually answer. It makes it sound amazing and maybe the grammar's perfect, but it doesn't actually answer your question. So what your lecturer will do is they will mark based on a rubric, and
Okay.
the rubric is very fair. So it will say, in order to score between 70 to 100%, you need to have covered XYZ. Maybe you do get marked for referencing. So it's always a good idea to make sure your referencing is on point.
Okay.
But in terms of similarity, if you have turned all of your writing into your own words, if you have paraphrased properly, then I don't think you would get a high score.
Okay.
And on the occasion that you do get the high score, I would say, please don't worry. It could just be a glitch in the system where it's picking up the headings as being similar, and it's not your fault at all.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
you're welcome. Yes, so who's next in line? Nsepase, is it you? Or is the hand from earlier? Okay, if it is an earlier hand, Rachel, would you like to go?
Hi there. I'd like to find out, in the case of things like you mentioned earlier, Word automatically using Copilot without your knowledge, and then making big issues with AI detection and all of that, what are we supposed to do? Do we admit to AI useful in case it happened to have automatically used Copilot or something strange like that? What are we supposed to do there to protect ourselves?
I see your point, and I really do empathize with you, seeing as it did happen to me. What I would suggest, just be completely transparent, be open, and if you didn't use AI, you are safe in the knowledge that you did not use AI. Um, if you do see that you have a Grammarly plugin, you must be careful. Either disable it or uninstall it to be 100% sure that you are not using a plug-in tool. I think that's probably the safest way. But we will definitely investigate each case separately, and we will never try and catch you out for something that is not your fault. So yeah, please do trust your lecturer or navigator. They do have your best interests at heart.
Thank you very much. AI
Okay.
is not my most favorite thing.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, but it's here to stay, and if we can use it honestly and ethically, it can make our lives easier. So I do have one of the YouTube videos where it shows you which tools are good tools to use. But yes, those must always be acknowledged in an annexure at the end of your document. All right, Matthew, I see you've got a hand up.
Yeah, hello, hi. I wanted to check, is it just with the Grammarly plugin? I mean, if you use like the normal spell check thing on Word, for example, you think like that wouldn't count, that wouldn't come up as a Turnitin flag, would it?
I
No,
doubt
okay.
it. I doubt it
Yeah.
would. It's usually just the generative AI. So, for
Yeah.
example, Copilot might say, "Would you like me to rewrite your introduction for you?" Please do
Okay,
not
good to
click
know.
yes, because
Yeah.
then AI is doing the work for you.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to check.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sure thing. And Nonjabulo, would you like a turn to speak?
Hi, Michelle. I just have a quick question. Are we allowed to use tools like Quillbot to check our work for plagiarism or AI content? And if we only use it to check, do we have to reference it?
It's yes to both of your questions. So yes, you can use the Quillbot or Writeful or Grammarly tools, but they do count as AI tools. And then in your annexure, which is after your reference list, you will then state exactly what tool and how you used it. But for grammar tools, you won't be able to put a link that's showing what prompts you used. That would only be for generative AI like ChatGPT. So on a side note, if you did get ChatGPT to check your reference list, please don't. It makes mistakes. It
Okay.
changes the DOI links into something where it takes you to a different place completely.
Okay.
But generative AI, you need a link to the actual chat, but the grammar tools don't have a link generally. We just have to trust that you did not overuse the grammar tools.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sure thing. All right. Are there any questions in the chat that perhaps did not get answered? Um,
Yes, there's a question
mm,
about percentage, minimum percent or maximum percentage for Turnitin. It hasn't been
okay.
addressed.
Okay, perfect. I will answer that now. There is no hard and fast number. The reason being it's related to the different subjects. For example, law, you can have a very high percent and still be okay because there's only so many ways where you can repeat the law. It has to be word for word. So the percentage will be high. But for other subjects, maybe psychology or business or even education, those ones, if you have not turned it into your own words enough, then the percentage will be too high. So in comparison, you can get away with 40% if you're in the law faculty, but for any other field, education, business, try not to go above 25 or 30%. But then again, each case is looked at individually. So even if it is a 35%, please do not worry. It's more about the content and have you turned it into your own words enough.
And you only get to submit once.
That is preferable. The reason being is if you submit again, it's now comparing your old work to your new work, and it's comparing all the other people who have now submitted. So you will get a higher percentage if you submit twice.
So then what is the fix?
The fix is to come to us, the information specialists, have us check your work before the final submission. So it does require planning ahead, but it is possible, and it can then ensure that you don't have like a massively high score. We can't promise that it will be below 10% because I think that's unreasonable. But we can check your work to ensure that there are no red flags before submitting.
So when you're checking it, you check on Turnitin or you check and edit.
Well, we're not an editing service. What we do is a reference check. So we make sure that you referenced correctly because what Turnitin does, it will flag if you do not put in text references. So for example, let's say you have written a sentence out in your own words and you've put a full stop, but you did not put the brackets with the surname and the year. That means it's going to flag you are at risk of plagiarizing. So we
Okay.
try and prevent that by reading through your work and then saying, here are some sections that you can maybe go back and fix and put in more references so that your score will be lower at the end of the day.
And approximately how many days prior do you need to have the work in order for us to use that service? Like a week, 3 days before submission? How many days would you like? Would you recommend?
I think that's a really good question. Um, I would say 3 to 5 days before gives you peace of mind. A week before is even better. But I do understand work pressures and study pressures do come in, and you do have limited time. But with planning ahead, a week before is perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. And I think Tanya said in the chat, if we refer you to the writing center, then the minimum is generally 48 hours, which would be 2 days. So that is for the last minute requests. Yes, Bianca.
Hello, sorry, I just want to know, will we have access to the slides?
Oh, the ones that we covered tonight.
Yes.
Let me just see. I'm not able to share it now, but it says I can possibly schedule them for the future. Once we are off the call, I will try and send them to this chat, and hopefully you guys will have access. But most of what I've covered tonight is on the YouTube channel, and I have shared the channel in the chat.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. All right. I see there's a question for me. Oh, okay. No, Tanya did answer that one. All right. If there is, I see there's a thing, can we use Google Scholar? Yes, definitely. It is one of the recommended sources on the IIE library page. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. You've been a wonderful crowd. I see we're up to the 54 mark. That's fantastic. I'm wishing you all the best in your studies, and remember that these kind of sessions happen every week for the next month. So if there was a question that you didn't see tonight or you didn't get a chance to ask, there's always next week. Same link, join again, 7 p.m. next Wednesday night. Thank you all. Take care.
Thanks, Michelle. If you
Thanks,
can also
Michelle.
upload the writing guide on the chat. Some students were asking how to structure a title page and assignment writing template.
Okay,
Thanks, Michelle.
perfect. Will do. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle. Lovely evening, everyone. Bye.